going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers have a real uphill battle to still climb, but they are climbing it. We got a much needed win against the Oklahoma City Thunder without our big three. Didn't have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, or D'Angelo Russell, and we were still able to pull off the win in Oklahoma City nonetheless, right? And this is just huge for the team as a whole. Real confidence booster, really start to get guys in rhythm, being big contributors. We saw the kind of usual suspects really stepping up. The Austin Reeves, the Dennis Schroeders, Mo Bamba had a solid game. Troy Brown, Malik Beasley still struggling a bit to knock down the three ball, but he still just provides so much space and really kind of just becomes a problem for the opposing team because they have to stick to him, and he just makes things very difficult, puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Rui Hachimura had a nice solid game and really made some big plays, especially on the defensive end, which was huge. And this team really seems to be coming into his own. This team, I say it over and over again, and I will continue to say it, this team is just different. We're a lot more depth, a lot more talented, a lot better defensively. We got a lot more size, a lot more shooting, floor spacing. I mean, even with Malik Beasley shooting so poorly, we still shot 46% from three, which again is huge for this team. And not saying that we're going to shoot 46% from three regularly, but we are starting to slowly climb into the standings. We got a top defense, we got a top offense, and that's what you need. And I still believe, without a doubt, by the time this season is over, with or without LeBron James, I really think we're going to be a top 5 offense, top 5 defense at the least, which would realistically make us a title contender because that's usually the teams that win an NBA championship, the teams that are top 5 in defense, top 5 in offense. And we are doing a good job on both sides of the ball. Was it a perfect game yesterday? Absolutely not. Would it have been nice to get the Memphis win? Absolutely. But hey, the Thunder game is a lot more significant than the Grizzlies game because the Thunder is a team that we are chasing. The Thunder is a team that we are fighting with to get seeding. And the Grizzlies, we're just, at this point, we're not going to catch. There's not enough games in the season for us to catch. We could win every game the rest of the way, and including that Memphis game, and we still probably wouldn't have caught them just because they are just so many games ahead. But outside of that, the West is extremely close. And a lot of these teams play each other, which is really good for us. Because that means while all the other teams are killing each other and knocking themselves out of seeding, if we can continue to climb up this hill and rack up some of these wins, that will just put us in such a great position. Currently, we had just seen, beyond us winning the Thunder game, we just saw the Pelicans beat the Blazers, which is good. So now we move up and we are currently the 11th seed. But beyond that, you have the Sixers playing the Mavericks. The Mavericks have really been struggling lately. They are 1-4 since Luka and Kyrie have started playing together. Not since the trade, but since the two of them have shared the court together, they've been really struggling. And the Sixers, they're a team that can easily beat, in my opinion, the Dallas Mavericks. They're a team that have been very hot, third in the East, 40-21 overall, and they are trying to get into a good position. They seem pretty locked in to the 3 seed personally. They're about 3 games ahead of the Cleveland Cavaliers for that 3 seed, and about 4 games back from the 2 seed, 4.5 back from the 1 seed. But still, they're a team that could use more wins, rack up some wins. Last thing they want to do is go on a losing streak this close to the end of the season. They want to rack up as many wins as possible, keep that locked in at least 3rd place, maybe even try to catch 2nd place. And Dallas is a team that's really struggling. Yes, Dallas is at home, but I do think the Sixers can beat the Mavericks. Biggest problem the Mavs have is just defense. They can't really seem to beat teams on the defensive end. They score a bunch of points, and they're able to have Kyrie and Luka, and that in some ways does alleviate some of the pressure of the offense, but they haven't been able to quite figure it out. It looks clunky at times. And that's going to be an issue that I see for them going forward. This Dallas Maverick team, they are hungry for wins, and I'm sure that they're going to give it their all, but we need to be rooting for the Sixers. And then also tomorrow, because we don't have a huge slate of games, we only have 4 games tomorrow, but the Clippers take on the Warriors. And again, this is a game where whoever loses helps us, right? It doesn't matter who loses this game. Either one helps us. Now, personally, the Clippers and the Warriors, I think it could go either way. The Clippers have really been struggling as well also. They are They're like 1-4 or something like that since Russell Westbrook. They haven't really done really well as of late. Not that it's been Russell Westbrook's fault. He's actually been pretty solid for them. Basically giving them what you'd think he would give them. And then, the Warriors, but they're really good at home. The last loss was to us, the Lakers, and they're still only have 7 losses at home. They have been a very good home team, and very likely is going to get Steph back next week based on recent reports. So I'm sure that they would love to rack up this win and try to get that. And then as far as seeding goes, they're the 5 and the 6 seed. The Clippers right now are sitting in that 6th spot. Warriors are sitting in that 5th spot, but they are tied as far as games back. So this game is going to decide the 5th and 6th seed between those two. So both of these teams are really going to want the win, which is good. Again, let them just tear each other apart. Let them go at each other. The Clippers, if they lose, then now they're essentially tied in for a play-in. So are the Warriors. And that just gives us another half game on some of these teams, on either of these teams, which is huge because we're trying to still get into that 6th seed. I think depending on when LeBron comes back, very likely we're probably looking at the 7th or 8th seed. But regardless, if you look at the standings, we are currently only one game out of the 9th seed. We're right there, right? And what's even crazier is we're 2 games out of 7th and only 2.5 games out of 5th. 2.5 games out of the 5th seed. So we're right there. All of these teams keep losing and keep stumbling over each other and stuff, and the Lakers just keep racking up wins. And as long as that continues, we're going to be in a very good position. Now, I get it. We lost to the Grizzlies, but again, we are still 5-2 since this team has been constructed in our last 7. Those are the kind of runs we need. You win 5 games, you lose 2, or you lose 1, and you have we got to start winning games to that degree. But we do have such an easy schedule coming up, which really helps and benefits this team. And I just think a lot of these teams still play each other. We end up playing the Timberwolves on Friday, which is going to be another big win. We got the reports, unfortunately, that that D'Lo is out. We're still waiting to hear on Anthony Davis, and we're also still waiting on Dennis Schroeder. So hopefully Dennis Schroeder still plays, and then Anthony Davis will be back for the Timberwolves. It's kind of a bummer that D'Lo isn't going to play that game because I think he really would have balled out and showed up. But we'll be at home. We'll have Jared Vanderbilt and Malik Beasley, who were a Timberwolf, and I'm sure that they want to ball out, and I'm sure that they're going to show up and that they're going to want to, show their old team. So that's kind of in our favor. But again, even that day, you have the Thunder and the Jazz play each other. That is huge for us, right? Because they have to, whichever one loses really helps us. Now, ideally, the Jazz lose and the Thunder beat the Jazz because that happens and that puts the Jazz back. And if we beat the Timberwolves, all of a sudden we're in a playoff spot. Same thing with the Clippers and the Kings, right? The Clippers and the Kings play each other. If the Kings can beat the Clippers are at home. They just had that huge, 175-176 game. But if the Clippers lose 2 straight, all of a sudden they're 33-33. They might not even be in a play-in spot. They're going to be really bad in a tough spot. And then the Warriors play the Pelicans. So again, even Friday, we have 3 matchups where all of them help. I mean, even the Suns, you can make an argument the Bulls with the Suns, but they have Kevin Durant now. I expect them to start rattling off some games. So I think that they'll start moving up the standings. But, if we can beat the Timberwolves, all of a sudden we're 31-33. We're in a play-in spot. Literally in a play-in spot. And it would be nice to see this roster fully healthy outside of LeBron James. But I really think this team is talented enough and deep enough to really go on a run here. I think if we can win, we got a nice little homestand coming up that we really need to take advantage of. We really need to get these games won. So we have the Timberwolves, the Warriors, which are two huge, huge games. Both are at home. One on Friday, one on Sunday. Need both of those games. Then we play the Grizzlies, the Raptors, and the Knicks. Again, all at home. We have a 5-game homestand. We need to go at least 4-1. Ideally, if we could beat the Timberwolves, the Warriors, and say the Raptors, right? That would be nice. But again, we gotta beat those teams. We need that. We need to get those games ahead. We've already beaten the Warriors twice. If we can go up 3-1 against the Warriors, if we finish with the same record, guess what? We have the tiebreaker. We move ahead of them. Timberwolves, same thing. If we could beat the Timberwolves, we have 2 games against the Timberwolves coming up. We need to get both of those games. If we can, all of a sudden, if we end up with the same record, there we go. But it's about getting these full games on these teams. This is a team that I absolutely think can come in, win some games, go on this nice homestand, and then we have a little road trip. But even the little road trip is against the Pelicans, another huge game, and the Rockets. So we have 7 games coming up that we need to win. In my opinion, at least 5 out of those 7, at the bare minimum. I would like 6 out of 7, but things happen, right? Memphis is still going to be tough, although I think we could beat them. Especially if we have D'Lo back by that time. And then Raptors, they've been playing really good basketball. The Knicks, they're pretty tough. But I think, again, all of those games are very winnable. And then the Pelicans, I think we can beat the Pelicans again. And then the Rockets. The Rockets are a team that they're trying to lose games, right? So they're trying to do whatever they can to lose and tank as fast for the bottom to get that Victor Wembanyama race. So if the Rockets can... if they can put themselves in that position, they will absolutely do that. So that should be a good win. And then the Mavericks, right? That's another big game. But just in general, I really like this team. I really do believe in this team. I will continue to reiterate that over and over again because they just keep proving me right. They just keep showing time and time again that this team is different, that this team is really good and really talented. But hopefully we can see the full team without LeBron James relatively soon. Hopefully Davis is here Friday, and then D'Lo will be back. Hopefully the Sunday game, that would be really nice. That would be really helpful. We could really use him against the Warriors on Sunday. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. What do you think? Are you excited? Are you not? I really think that we have an opportunity here to be in the play-in by the end of the weekend. I think we are a play-in team by the end of the weekend. Maybe if the chips fall the right way, we might even be in the playoffs by the end of the weekend. So keep that in mind. That'll be exciting. Again, let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below.